of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T UVerse TV. It is a warm, muggy afternoon here in North Texas. Rangers look to keep things torrid this afternoon as they take on the Baltimore Orioles, looking for the 3-game sweep. And welcome into Globe Life Park, everyone. With Tom Grieve, I'm Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for this Sunday afternoon of Ranger baseball. Rangers finishing off the homestand and look to go 4-2 on this 6-game homestand. That would be remarkable considering what Toronto did to them the first couple of nights. So Rangers looking to make it 4 in a row, 3 in a row over these Baltimore Orioles. They will turn to the left-hander Derek Holland this afternoon.
And Derek has been solid, Buzz, in his last 2 starts. He had a really good start against Seattle. He pitched into the 7th inning, gave up a couple of runs. Against Toronto, he pitched 6 innings and gave up 4 runs. The one thing that's bothered him a little bit has been the long ball. He's given up 4 home runs, but 3 of them came against Toronto, and Toronto's hitting home runs against everybody. So after the 2 starts, Derek's throwing the ball well. I'm sure he's looking to get even better today and as the season goes on. But you like where he is right now, how he's throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's making progress toward his 2013 streaks when he was throwing shutouts right and left, and that's what the Rangers hope he gets back to in the next month or so. That will be a step forward for Derek Holland and the Rangers. They look to sweep the Baltimore Orioles right on out of town before they head on the road. It's the youngsters this afternoon at Globe Life Park. The tradition continues as they take the field. We'll come back with the starting lineup to the first pitch right after this. You buy your Texas Ford dealer. The best deals are happening now, only at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T UVerse TV. UVerse has more live TV channels on the go than cable. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Well, a high overcast here, a warm and muggy afternoon at Globe Life Park. Rangers and Orioles getting set to finish up this three-game series before we get underway. Let's head down and check in with Emily Jones.
Well, Buzz, it has been an interesting season for the Rangers, to say the least, but the bottom line is this team is playing some pretty good baseball as we enter the stretch run. September is right around the corner, and Elvis Andrus likes where his team is headed.
I mean, it's been an amazing year so far, especially everything we've been through, and now it's just a lot of fun. You know, everybody's playing together. With the new guys that come to the team, you know, help us to continue to get better. Our manager, first year, it doesn't look like. So it's been a tremendous, you know, and special year so far.
And you get the sense that these players truly appreciate where they've been and the fact that they have come through so much, whether it be the unbelievably not good start to the season in the month of April, the injuries they've overcome, all of those things molding this thing into where it is right now, which is in a pretty good spot, guys.
All right, Emily, thank you. Yeah, good points. Very nice turnaround for this ball club. They bounced back several times. This latest been pretty impressive. Shin-Soo Choo and company signing autographs for the youngsters out there on the field at Globe Life Park. Well, the Baltimore Orioles coming in having lost 3 in a row. They've won just 1 out of their last 10. Tom is going to tell you about the Oriole lineup that will face Derek Holland this afternoon.
Well, Manny Machado will lead off again for the Orioles. He's hit .314 in his last 300 at-bats. Steve Pearce moves up to the second spot in the lineup. Adam Jones will hit third. Chris Davis, tied for second in the American League with 35 home runs and 92 RBIs, will hit fourth. Matt Wieters is the catcher, batting fifth, followed by the DH Caleb Joseph. Jonathan Scope is seventh. Dariel Alvarez, 2 for 6 in his first 2 major league games of his major league career, will bat eighth. And Paul Janisch, the shortstop, is batting ninth.
And that lineup put forth by Buck Showalter will face the 28-year-old left-hander Derek Holland. Our progressive scouting report shows you Derek 1-1. Didn't get a decision last time out against Toronto. Rangers lost that ball game 6-5. He's trying to refine his approach. By that I mean trying to get back to what he knows best about pitching and trying to put the mental and the physical together. He did very well in his first start. Last time out against a difficult team, not quite as good. But he'll try to continue to make progress here today. Get back to commanding his fastball. The biggest thing for Derek. He left a couple of pitches up that got hit out of the ballpark against Toronto last time. But that's not to say that every time you leave a ball up, you're going to get it out of the ballpark, unless it is Toronto. Toronto's knocking everything out of the ballpark. Now the Ranger defense this afternoon, delivered to you by the New Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. Ranger defense, much as it has been the last 5 days. Mitch Moreland, no errors in his last 635 chances at first base. Solid as a rock. Alberto and Andrews up the middle. Beltre at third. Venable to Shields and Chu in the outfield. And Chris Jimenez behind the plate today. So the Rangers come in 4 games behind the Houston Astros in the AL West. They are a game and a half ahead of the next closest pursuer in the wild card. That would be the Minnesota Twins. Underway, the first pitch of the afternoon is in for strike 1 to Machado. Last time we saw Manny Machado, he was jawing with David Rackley, the home plate umpire from last night, about the called strike on the swing, that he thought he checked his swing and Rackley thought differently. And that was how we saw Manny depart the field. He was out there for quite a few minutes till Buck Showalter went and grabbed him and took him back to the dugout.
Yeah, the good thing about that, Buzz, is David Rackley had the call right. He definitely did not check his swing. Could have asked the first base umpire, but didn't need help, and he was right.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch. Call strike 3, inside corner. And Machado caught looking. That's how we get things underway here this afternoon.
Well, at this stage of the game, in his other 2 starts, Derek's fastball was probably 92. Today, 2 of them have been 94. One of them has been 95. Mix that in with a changeup, and terrific start for Derek to get Manny Machado. Couldn't pull the trigger on him.
Oh, 1 away on the punch out. Here's Steve Pearce, a 32 average. And he takes the pitch just a bit low for ball 1. Pearce, 9 home runs and 26 driven in. Spent some time on the disabled list, had a left oblique strain. Evens the count with that swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Orioles at 63 and 66. They are the 3 games under 500. Their low water mark of the year. That is just outside. 2-1. Orioles tied with Tampa Bay, 10 games behind the front-running Toronto Blue Jays. And they're now 4.5 games behind the Rangers for that second wild card spot. The pitch at the top of the strike zone. 2-2. Jim Reynolds, by the way, calling balls and strikes here this afternoon. Holland to the line. And he misses low and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Pierce hitting second in the Baltimore order to be followed by Adam Jones, the center fielder. Baltimore comes in right in the middle of the pack with a .254 team batting average. But they are 10th in on-base percentage, just .307. Payoff pitch from Holland. Got him swinging. Good changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts open up the game for Derek. 2 gone. Adam Jones coming up.
Yeah, very nicely done. He's thrown a breaking ball, thrown a couple of changeups. 94, 95 with his fastball. Pretty good command. 10 pitches, 6 strikes. No contact yet.
Adam Jones, a .279 average as he steps to the plate. Jones, 24 home runs, 66 RBI. Swinging strike 1. Jones has the most at bats against Holland of any Baltimore hitter in the lineup. As you see, 4 for 17. .235 average. Holland against Baltimore, 4-2 in his career, although he has not faced them since 2013. A .360 ERA and 6 starts against the Birds. Hit hard and a fair ball down the third base side. Karam's off the sidewall. Jones going for 2. Here comes the throw from Venable. It's not in time, and Adam Jones, a bullet double, is at second base with 2 outs.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 19, Chris Davis.
23rd double of the year for the Orioles center fielder.
Fastball on the inside part of the plate and down. Good swing by Jones. Not a terrible pitch either. But sometimes you make a good pitch and the hitter does hit it.
Yep.
They're getting paid a lot of money to do that. Just like you're getting paid a lot of money to keep them from doing it.
Oh, the first base runner of the game, Jones at second with 2 outs. Here's Chris Davis. And Davis has had no luck at all against his former teammate. Takes inside for ball 1. Chris, 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts against Holland. Overall average .251. 35 home runs. That was tied for second until Josh Donaldson homered today. Donaldson hit his 36th for the Blue Jays. So Chris down third place in the home run race. 2 balls, no strikes. Got the 92 RBI, still second to Josh Donaldson. Ranger infield in an extreme overshift with Adam Jones out there at second. Elvis 10 feet behind the bag, now moving back. 2-1 as the fastball comes in there. Mentioned Holland last time out against Toronto, worked 6 innings, gave up 4 runs. They all came via home runs. Colabello, Bautista, and Encarnacion all homered. Broken bat looper out behind the mound. Elvis on the run, throws out Davis, and that will do it. Another 2-out Adam Jones double. Nothing going for the Orioles. They strand a runner after half inning. Orioles nothing, Rangers coming up. Rangers will come to bat. Tom's going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Rangers lineup.
Pretty much the same lineup. Delino DeShields will lead off, followed by Shin-Soo Choo. Prince Fielder is third. Adrian Beltre, a .423 hitter in his last 7 games, will bat fourth. Mitch Moreland is fifth. Elvis Andrus is a .324 hitter in his last 10 ball games. Will Venable is seventh. Chris Jimenez has hit 4 home runs in his last 11 games. He bats eighth. Hanser Alberto gets another start at second base while the Rangers wait for Rougned Odor's finger to heal.
And Miguel Gonzalez goes to work on Delino DeShields with strike one. Delino, a .265 average as he steps in. He has had multiple hit games in each of the last 3 contests. It's that let-up curveball that stays inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Delino, a couple of home runs, 27 RBI. Loop to right field. That is going to be in for a base hit. Alvarez gets to the ball quickly, and Delino aboard with a leadoff single. No, Miguel Gonzalez gives up a leadoff base hit. Book on him 9 and 10. For the year, Rangers had a pretty good book on him from when they faced him in June 30th to be exact. They roughed him up for 6 runs in 4 1/3. They'll try to make him throw strikes early in the count, and if he does, they are going to be aggressive going after that early strike from Gonzalez. So Gonzalez 2-2 in his career against the Rangers. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. Choo, a .248 average with 16 home runs, 59 RBI, 16 home runs, third on the ball club behind Prince Fielder and Mitch Moreland. He's also fared well in past matchups with Miguel Gonzalez. Lines this one to right, sinking in a hurry. It's down for a base hit. Alvarez the throw to second, not in time to get to Shields.
And that's with his speed too.
We have seen Alvarez unleash that arm 2 times now in this series, and boy, he has made some great throws. He gunned down Adrian Beltre on Friday night at home plate. Almost got to Shields for a force at second.
Well, it was tough for Delino to tell whether that ball was going to go far enough to be caught. So he went pretty much exactly where he could go, so that if it was caught, he could get back to first, and that gave him barely enough time to get to second base before the strong throw in from Alvarez.
Man.
Saw Bobby Wilson get caught on a ball like that. As a base runner, there's just not much you can do. You have to hold your ground to see what's going to happen so that you don't get doubled off and hope you have enough time to get to second. That time, Delino just barely did.
Prince Fielder takes a strike. That evens things up at 1-1. Fielder, a 4-game hitting streak coming in, but just 1 hit in each of those 4 games. Average at .315. That's as low as it's been since the 3rd game of the season. Still 17 home runs, 71 RBI. The 71 driven in. Tops on the club. With a base hit to center field. DeShields being held at third as Jones gets to the ball quickly. And the Rangers, with 3 consecutive hits, have opened up the first inning with everybody on base against Miguel Gonzalez.
There won't be many times where Prince hits a base hit and Delino doesn't score from second base on it, but that was one of them. Adam Jones plays a fairly shallow center field. Prince hit the ball hard, and with nobody out and Adrian coming up, Tony Beasley's not going to take a chance. Jones throws very well from center field. Saw him gun someone down at second base the other day. And so that's the smart move, holding Delino, even with his speed on that play.
Well, 3 consecutive base hits open the first inning. Here's Adrian. And he takes strike 1. Beltre has just made mincemeat of this Baltimore pitching staff in the last 3 years. Hitting up over 400 now. 9 career grand slams for the Ranger third sacker. .272, the highest his average has been all year, with 13 home runs and 44 RBI. In the air to right field. That's going to send Alvarez back. It'll stay in the ballpark. Alvarez with a catch, tagging at third. And coming in to score is Delino to Shields. On to third goes Chu. Adrian Beltre, the sacrifice fly. The Rangers lead it 1-0.
Oh, good job by Adrian. Not only scored the man from third, but he moved the man from second to third with one out. It's another example of Alvarez's throwing arm. Maybe the best example we've seen. The other throws have been shorter. This one, he was down the line fairly deep. Made a one-hop strong throw to third base. Definitely got a great arm. This is the one where you can really tell where he's not necessarily coming in toward the base he's throwing at.
Man.
And there's a look at the rifle arm that he's got from right field.
I'm trying to think of people that I would compare him to in right field. I can't think of any right offhand that.
Yeah, his arm, even though he's not a right fielder, hasn't been, is Martin for the Rangers. Leonis has the great arm.
That pitch in the dirt. It gets away from Wieters. A great jump by Chu, and he will score. 2-0 Rangers. Boy, good anticipation by Shin-Soo Choo. That ball popping straight up in the air, and Chu never hesitated. He was off with the bounce and comes across home plate.
You know, Buzz, it's kind of what we were talking about last night with Shin-Soo. Every facet of the game right now is better for him. He's relaxed and confident. Earlier in the year, he was tentative on the bases. He was tentative in the outfield. Obviously, he wasn't swinging the bat. Now it's all coming together. His on-base percentage is over 40%. Going after the ball in the outfield, he's more confident. He's thrown out a key runner at the plate. And that's not that big a deal, but I don't know that earlier in the year he would have gotten the same jump and scored on that. So it's going good for him right now. It's nice to see.
Let's go down to Emily Jones.
Will you guys bring up, you know, Shin-Soo Choo and the difference that he's had here in the second half? Evan Grant had a story about him having a conversation with his wife over the All-Star break about kind of simplifying things and not looking too much at the big picture, but just focusing on the small things and not worrying about too many ancillary things. And he said it really hit home with him, was able to recharge over the All-Star break, and has really been a different player since then.
You're right. I mean, it certainly has. And wherever the information comes from, it certainly is valuable for Shin-Soo, and having it right at home is even better.
And we talked about the pressure that he feels by trying to live up to the huge contract that he got, trying to live up to the expectations of everybody in his country who follows him.
Scope, the second baseman, on the backhand, throws out Moreland. On to third goes Fielder. Prince is over there now with 2 outs, and Elvis Andrews coming out.
And I guess that would be the big picture that Emily's talking about.
Right.
So forget about the big picture and just concentrate on what you're doing on the field on a daily basis.
And I would guess it's pretty hard for us growing up in the United States to understand that kind of national feeling.
Exactly.
But, you know, he's not the first one that we've heard talk about that and feel that the burden of the entire nation on his shoulders.
Chan Ho Park was the same way.
Exactly.
You know, if we go to play in a foreign country, no one even knows we're there. When one comes from South Korea, it's a big deal,
That's
and they
right.
follow him.
Elvis looking to jump on that first pitch. Got a breaking ball instead of the fastball. It's 0-1. Elvis at 257, 6 home runs, 47 driven in. 3 out of 11 in his career against Miguel Gonzalez. Rangers have put 2 on the board on 3 hits, a sacrifice fly, and a wild pitch. 1-1. Rangers come into play 5th in the American League with a team batting average of 257. And they have the 7th best on-base percentage at 320. That on-base percentage continuing to rise. 1-1 pitch. Now 2-1.
Buzz, the other day, I think it was yesterday in the pregame show, we talked about Delino and Shin-Soo hitting at the top of the order, what they've done recently to help ignite the offense. And here, right off the bat in this game, same thing. Base hit. They've each scored a run.
Yep. That pitch low. And Elvis leaning on it. 3 balls and a strike. Elvis trying to extend this first inning. Will Venable, the Ranger left fielder, is in the on-deck circle. Yeah, and there's an entirely different vibe around the ball club when they get Delino going in the first inning and Chu follows up with something. It just, you know, it seems like everybody just breathes a sigh and goes about their business with more confidence. Elvis draws the walk. First and third with 2 outs for Venable. Now Gonzalez is going to have a visit from Dave Wallace, the pitching coach. Wallace going out to see if he can calm down his right-hander. Gonzalez, a native of Mexico, and he grew up in the Southern California area. He was born in Guadalajara. Originally signed by the Angels, undrafted free agent back in 2004. Red Sox took him as a Rule 5 draft, and then after Tommy John surgery, Gonzalez out of baseball for a year and a half. Orioles took a shot with him, and he has performed very well. Venable chops that first pitch foul right off his front leg for strike 1. Will, a couple of hits last night, batting .313 as a Ranger. That'll probably have that ankle barking for a little while. Venable back in as fielder at third, Andrews at first. 2 runs across, 2 outs here in the first inning. Out of play to the left. 0-2. Will Venable, of course, came over from the San Diego Padres in a trade. The Rangers needed some help in the outfield after Josh Hamilton had to go on the disabled list. Josh, by the way, starting to feel better, he said, but still not able to run at 100% or anywhere close to it. A little chopper foul down the first base side. Latest guess for Josh would be, well, the rosters expand on Tuesday. They can expand to the 40-man roster, and Hamilton might be available as a pinch hitter when the rosters expand, but certainly nothing more than that right away.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to use a guy as a pinch hitter after the rosters expand. Now, if he can't play, he could pinch hit, but then you have to use someone else, and you only have 4 extra men. After the rosters expand, then it becomes much easier to do that. Same with Rubned right now. He can probably pinch hit, but if he can't go back out in the field, then you have to really shuffle things around.
One and two, the count to Venable. Gonzalez a check of the runners. There goes Elvis. The pitch is outside. There will be no throw. Well, Elvis in easily to second base. Second and third now with 2 outs. And I would imagine since Orioles were holding Elvis on, that will be a stolen base for Elvis. 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. The Venable gone. The Rangers are finished in the first, but they scored twice on 3 hits and Strand 2 after 1. Rangers 2, Orioles nothing. Use hashtag Southwest Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself on one of our upcoming broadcasts. All this brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile, and we will show you today's selection a little bit later on this afternoon. Well, Derek Holland out to the mound now with a 2-0 lead to protect. He will face Matt Wieters to start things off, and Derek pumps in strike one. Wieters, a switch hitting catcher, batting at .266. 5 home runs, 17 driven in. Wieters just 2 out of 15 against Holland, but both those were home runs. 1-1. Wieters coming back, missed a good portion of the early part of the season, recovering from that Tommy John surgery, and then he had a hamstring blowout on him for a little while, and it's been one thing after another for Wieters this year. Holland's 2-1 pitch. Got him on the fist, and it's 2-2. Wieters 1 for 4 here on Friday night. Last 5 ball games, though, has been a little bit rough for the Orioles catcher. Got him swinging. Holland going up the ladder. Wieters got off a run too early. Oh, one away. Caleb Joseph coming up, and we'll welcome in Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, appreciate it, Buzz. This past week, the Texas Rangers wives partnered up with a few buddies and also threw a pink party for patients at Cook's Children's Hospital. Here's Karen Bannister talking about the importance of giving back.
And we're having a pink party for the young ladies here at the hospital. We're doing makeup and hair and painting nails. Personally, I enjoy coming out and doing these events with all the other ladies because it's very near and dear to my heart. I love to serve others, see the smiles on their faces, the light in their eyes. It's an amazing experience for me as a mom to be able to give back to these little kids.
So a great job by the Texas Rangers wives as they partnered up with Shadow Buddies. Buzz?
All right, Noxie, thank you. Well, 2 outs here after Caleb Joseph flied out to right field. Now Jonathan Scope takes in the dirt for ball 1. Scope a .292 average with 10 home runs and 30 driven in. He has gone 1 for 8 in this series so far. 2 balls, no strikes. Holland studying the sign, Scope waiting. And it's popped up. It's Moreland over near the railing, has room, makes the catch, and that will do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Derek Holland, and the Rangers. Orioles gone in order. After 1.5, it's the Rangers 2 and the Orioles nothing. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. The best deals are happening now only at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. Now the Rangers coming to bat here in the bottom of the second inning, leading 2-0. Nice sun-bathed crowd on hand here this afternoon. Pretty warm and rather muggy afternoon at Globe Life Park. Not much of a breeze to stir around the humidity. Chris Jimenez hitting at 286 in a Ranger uniform. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jimenez, his 4th home run of the year here on Friday night. That's a new career high, a single season career high for him. He's had 2 years of 3 home runs, including this one. And in between, he had a total of 6 home runs. That from 2009 to 2014. One and two. Up the middle, but behind second is the second baseman, Scope. And Chris Davis with long arms able to lean out and haul it in. 1 gone.
Another example of the infield shifts that we see. The Rangers have had a lot of success with their second baseman on the other side of second base, but definitely playing up the middle. That time, Scope was on the other side, the shortstop side of second base. Feel as a hitter, you get a pitch up, drive it right straight up the middle. You're thinking base hit, and you look up and go, no, not today.
Yeah.
Got that shift waiting for me.
Yeah. Breaking ball is just off the outer edge to Hanser Alberto. Hanser at 226 overall. No home runs, 3 driven in, making his 5th start for the injured Rougned Odor. 1-1 now. Alberto with hits in each of the last 4 ball games, but just 1 in each game. Making his 26th start of the year for the Rangers. This is his 21st at second base. Down on the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. And that one pulled outside the bag. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hanser called back up for his 2nd tour of duty with the Rangers on the 19th. 11 days ago. Machado on the short hop. Throws to first. That is out number 2. And that'll take the Rangers back to the top of the order for Delino DeShields. Delino got things going against Miguel Gonzalez this afternoon with a base hit to right field. A little flare out there. Shin-Soo Choo, a Prince fielder, followed with hits themselves and loaded the bases. Adrian Beltre, a sacrifice fly, and another run scoring on a wild pitch. Off the end of the bat, out to Giannis, the shortstop. Pretty quick inning, a 1-2-3 inning for Miguel Gonzalez. Rangers gone. We finished 2. It's the Rangers 2, the Orioles nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcasts, and a lot more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Now, Derek Holland, with his 27th pitch of the afternoon, gets the third inning underway. That was ball one to Dariel Alvarez. This pitch fouled out of play to the right. Alvarez had his first 2 major league hits last night, a double as his inaugural safety, and had a single little bit later on. So playing in his 3rd major league game, the native of Cuba. Big swing and a miss. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Alvarez had a little bit of a tough time against Cole Hamels. Cole worked him over pretty well with a wide assortment of pitches, anything from a 94-mile-an-hour fastball to a slower curveball, cutter, you name it. He threw it to Alvarez, and Alvarez got a pretty good education.
He got an education there as Derek Holland painted the inside corner. Alvarez turned into a statue. Strikeout number 4 for Holland.
After the off-speed pitch that he was way out in front of, Derek comes back with a good fastball, 94 miles an hour, right barely touching the inside corner.
Oh, 1 away. Here's Paul Yanish, the shortstop. Yanish, 4 out of 10 since joining the Orioles, taking over for the injured J.J. Hardy. Holland pumping in, strike 1. I know it's only the 3rd inning, but this, to me, is the best that we've seen Derek Holland in his 3 outings.
The exact same thing. Definitely the best velocity that he's had. Generally, in the first 2 starts, he was 91, 92. Today it's 94, 95.
1-1 to Yanish. His body language looks better too. Looks like he's got a purpose on the mound every time. He doesn't stray far from the pitching rubber, and a very confident demeanor. Got him swinging.
Yeah, I guess when you've got your best stuff, you can't wait to let go of the next pitch.
Exactly. 5 strikeouts for Holland. Before we go back to the top of the order, we'll send it over to John Radigan for a Mazda game break.
Wow. I got 9 of them in one day. That'll help.
Yeah.
What a month.
He kind of fits right in with the rest of those guys in the middle of that Toronto order. Machado out in front, pops one up. Elvis backpedaling out into shallow left field, puts it away, and Derek Holland now has retired 7 straight Baltimore Orioles, 3 by strikeout. After 2.5, Rangers 2, Orioles nothing. T-shirt to commemorate Adrian Beltre's 400th home run. First 15,000 fans 14 and older will be lucky enough to take home this special commemorative souvenir sponsored by Snapple and 7-Eleven. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com to see the Rangers take on the A's and get to Globe Life Park early for your giveaway. Shin-Soo Choo starting off the Ranger third inning. The Choo, Fielder, and Beltre. Rangers on top 2-0. Miguel Gonzalez has retired the last 4 that he has faced. Deals a strike, gets 0-2 to Choo. Shin-Soo had the single back in the first inning, scored a run as he came home on a wild pitch from third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, Choo now has extended his hitting streak to 6 consecutive ball games. He has been a .375 hitter over those 6 games. Hit well to center field. Adam Jones retreating, and he will stop just shy of the warning track to make the catch. We're out number 1. Now, Choo flies out to pretty deep center with 1 away. Prince Fielder will come up.
Another good at bat for Choo. Good swing. He just got underneath it a little bit. Saw him go after this ball and blow bubbles, and there's an up close look at it. I used to remember Will Clark hit a ground ball, and almost before he was out of the batter's box, blow a bubble. I don't know how guys could even think of blowing a bubble in the middle of the action like that. At least on that one, you've got a little bit of time. You know you're going to catch it. You're running over. But still.
I've never seen anybody do it. I've never seen anybody blow a bubble while they're pitching. I wonder if that'd be.
That would be something.
Would that be, as you're delivering the ball, blow a big bubble and have it pop?
You have to have pretty good timing. You can tell Adam Jones is definitely not a guy that can't walk and chew gum at the same time. He can run, chew gum, and catch a fly ball at the same time.
Prince Fielder had a base hit to center his first time. Now down to the count here, no balls and 2 strikes. Well, Prince, by his own admission, going through a tough time right now. It's gone back better than a month, 32 ball games. He has hit just 240. And there are a lot of guys around that would be satisfied with 240, but when Prince was hitting around 340, that is not what his goal or aim was. And it still isn't. Despite that, he's had hits now in 5 straight games, 7 of 8 and 9 of 11. In the air to left field, carrying pretty well. Pierce toward the line, still going toward the line in foul territory. Makes the catch. That is out number 2.
Third baseman, Adrian.
Pierce had a long way to go for that fielder fly ball, but able to grab it. Now Adrian Beltre will come up. Adrian drove in the first run of the ball game with a sacrifice fly, his 45th run driven in this year. Adrian just over 100 ball games played this year. Today would be Beltre's 110th game played. Gonzalez with the 0-1 pitch. A ball and a strike. Mentioned last night, Adrian hit his 408th career home run. That puts him all alone in 51st place. Passed up Miguel Cabrera and Duke Snyder with that home run. Next up on the list, Alfonso Soriano at 412. The 2-1 pitch. Out 2-2. Now our AT&T Uverse Rewind will take you back to yesterday. Off of Ubaldo Jimenez and deep into the bullpen in left center field for Beltre. Adrian's 13th home run of the year. Now Gonzalez ready for the 2-2 pitch. Base hit to center field.
Tried to launch it, but all he could do was get a base hit.
He started to go down and got jammed about the same time. Kind of an abbreviated deep bend.
I've seen him go down on one knee and hit the ball out of the ballpark. This time he'll settle for a line drive to center field.
Do not try this at home. He is a trained professional. That's the fourth hit of the afternoon for the Rangers. Beltre with his first. And here's Mitch Moreland. Mitch had a ground ball to second back in the first inning. Moreland with the 5-game hitting streak coming into play today. And another Ranger that has hit in 5 straight, but just 1 hit in each of those 5 games. Make that a 6-game hitting streak. Beltre around second will motor into third. No, back-to-back 2-out singles. Rangers with runners at the corners. And Elvis Andrus coming up.
I genuinely have a shift on against Mitch. Pretty decent pitch, really. It's not even a strike down and away like that. But he hit right between the guys, shifting over on the right side of the infield.
Now the Rangers with 5 hits this afternoon. They've all been singles. Beltre at third, Moreland at first. Elvis Andrus drew a walk in the first inning. Oh, he had the fastball to work with there and fouled it straight back. I think Elvis would love to have that pitch back. Talking to himself a little bit. Doggone it. Now 0-1 the count. Elvis, last 10 ball games, has hit .324. Looks like he's been right in the middle of a lot of Ranger uprisings. He has hits in 12 of his last 15 ball games, so it's been a very consistent run for Elvis. 2 balls and a strike. Elvis, the team leader in games played. This was his 126th start at shortstop. This is the Rangers' 129th game. Check swing on the breaking ball. It's 3-1. Elvis eyeballing a couple of close pitches. Has the count in his favor. He's trying to extend this third inning. Will Venable, the Ranger left fielder, is next. Gonzalez ready, checks the runners. Off the end of the bat, a cue shot that Scope knocks down, recovers, throws, not in time.
Boy, he almost made a great play.
Elvis beats it out. Beltre scores. The Rangers lead it 3-0, but not because Scope didn't make a tremendous play.
That ball was hit way to his left, right off the end of the bat, so it had a lot of spin on it. He knocked it down and then recovered, made a strong throw, just couldn't quite get it there in time. Nice play. Infield hit and an RBI for Elvis, though.
Elvis driving in his 48th run of the year. Well, the Rangers now leading by 3. Here's Will Venable with runners at second and first. Pretty good changeup from Gonzalez for strike 1. Venable, a strikeout victim in the first inning. With the average at .294 in a Ranger uniform this year. got jammed and a little pop-up in foul territory. Machado coming down makes the catch. And that'll do it. But the Rangers add on a run. 2-out damage with 3 consecutive 2-out hits. We'll go on to the 4th inning. It's now the Rangers 3 and the Orioles nothing.
Got a new bus here at Globe Life Park. It's the Fox College Sports Harborough bus pulling in. That's right, the tour is here because college football begins this Thursday on Fox Sports 1, Michigan against Utah. We got the Harborough brothers here, and we got Cletus, the Fox robot. Give me a Heisman real quick, Cletus. How about the Fox dance real quick? Look at that. Cletus is ready to go. Can you believe it? College football is here. And you guys, you know, you've been touring around the country. I understand you guys made a stop in Columbus, Ohio. What happened?
We went to Columbus for a little bit. We didn't go to campus because we didn't want the students to rip up our khakis. But we went to the state capitol, and the cops came out, so we had to leave. But
my goodness.
It's all good fun.
Okay, you guys auditioned for the job, right? We got 3 guys from New Jersey, a guy from Chicago. No, 1 guy from New Jersey, 3 guys from Michigan, and 1 from Chicago, right? So you guys had a tough audition?
Yeah, you know, just like any other internship, you know, application process, couple interviews, you know, it was a little pretty competitive, but, you know, we're all passionate about Michigan football. We all love it, and we're excited for Jim Harbaugh to be back in Michigan.
What a cushy job just traveling around and checking this out. All you got to do is put the Michigan hat on, wear the khakis, and cross the arms, kind of like this. Not bad, huh? Huh?
Pretty good.
Very good. All right, Fox. I'm getting booed in the truck by a Penn State grad right now. Cletus, we're looking forward to seeing this year. Harborough's, good to have you out at the ballpark. College football on Fox Sports 1 kicks off this Thursday, 6 o'clock pregame. The big game, Michigan against Utah, 7:30. Buzz, we're going to tune in for that one, as well as watch Ranger baseball later.
All right, Doxy. Nice going. That's great. It all starts on Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Michigan at Utah. Kickoff of the college football season on Fox Sports 1. Well, Derek Holland not taking any time at all. He's already gotten 1 out here in the 4th inning. Now facing Adam Jones. Joining us in the booth, as always, in our home ball games, Mark McLemore. Mac, pretty solid ball game. Well pitched, well played so far.
Very solid ball game. Derek Holland pitching extremely well, staying inside on this Orioles ball club, jamming guys, striking them out, just being aggressive in the strike zone.
We were talking about, Tom and I were talking about Derek, and I think both of us feel that at first look today anyway, I know it's only the 4th inning, but this probably is the best he has looked in any of his outings so far.
You know, I have to agree. hitting his spots, hitting location time after time after time, commanding his pitches, throwing his off-speed pitches for strikes, burying that slider there as we saw him strike out Adam Jones, burying that slider down and in, getting ahead of hitters and not just getting ahead but finishing them off rather quickly. So he's at 43 pitches already with 2 outs in the 4th inning. So being very economical, filling up that strike zone with quality strikes.
Now 2 away, Chris Davis, who got badly jammed his first time by Holland. Hit a little blooper that fell about midway between the mound and second base in the grass. Elvis threw him out. 0-1 pitch. A ball and a strike. Now the 1-1 from Holland. Up the middle by Derek and into center field, a base hit. Fortunately, that was not a blistered line drive. It scared Derek enough. Holland flinching, and rightfully so. That ball coming back at you. You don't have time to decide whether it's hit real hard or not.
Boy, he almost had his glove on it.
Yeah.
It was close. He did the right thing. Get out of the way.
Well, that is the second Baltimore hit against Holland. Adam Jones had a first inning double, and now the 2-out single in the 4th inning by Chris Davis. 1 on, 2 out. Matt Wieters will come up for his second at bat. He takes a knee-high strike. Wieters went down swinging his first time up there. Holland kind of climbed the ladder on him, and Wieters accommodated Derek by going ahead and swinging at that pitch about shoulder high. And he pops the next pitch up. Elvis Andrus calling everybody out. Beltre kind of wandering in just to get in the middle of the picture. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Clean is telling you the Rangers are on top after 3.5. 3-0. Four-game set against the Houston Astros. Grab a friend and come on out to Globe Life Park. You can get 2 upper box or upper reserve seats for just $14 when you use the online coupon code Lone Star. That's a savings of up to 71%. Get to TexasRangers.com before the seats are gone. That's going to be an interesting 4-game series. Rangers and Astros. Right now the Rangers trailing Houston by 4 games, but some ground to be made up. I think the Rangers would love to, if they can't pass them, at least be within a game or 2 starting that 4-game series and see if they can't do some damage here at home. Chris Jimenez 0 for 1 this afternoon. Takes the pitch just a bit low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jimenez to be followed by Hanser Alberto, then back to the top of the order for Delino DeShields. Rangers 3 runs on 6 hits. They've all been singles, but the Rangers have bunched them. 3 hits consecutively in the first led to a couple of runs. 3 hits with 2 outs consecutively in the third inning led to a run. Check swing, and he went around. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jimenez. Chris batting .279 at the moment. Showed you that graphic in our pregame talks about the catchers. Chris Jimenez and Bobby Wilson. There's a ground ball to short.
Second baseman, Answer Alberto.
Hitting 293 as a tandem. Take a look at our Ford leaderboard. Rangers have done some damage against the American League East this year. They had the best record in the American League against the Eastern Division clubs, 22-11. Twins are next at 19-14, and then down the Yankees and Blue Jays, of course, in their own division. But Rangers, the toughest for the American League East teams to handle.
You know, it's nice to see that stat where they dominate at least one division. You'd love for that division to be your own division because you play in that, you play your division more than anybody else. And they still have time to do that, actually.
Andrew Alberto jumping back from a breaking ball that caught the inside corner. Yeah, that has been a sore subject, I think, for this year for the Rangers. They are just 20-29 against the Western Division. 1-2. They'd still, though, have to go through the Western Division almost a full time through, home and home. They'll have the Angels and Mariners on this next trip, and then they'll finish up with the Astros and Oakland on the trip after that. Alberto gone on strikes. And they've got 3 of the 4 here at home, so they got some time to make up, as you said. A little bit disconcerting when you look at that and say, we missed opportunities to really gain some ground on Houston.
Yeah, I think that, the big thing is, we started playing good baseball after we got out of the second swing through the division. So we're a different team, a better team now going back into the division for the final month. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And like we were just talking about, if you you stay within earshot of Houston, you have 7 games left with them. So you basically control your own destiny as far as your relationship to them. And it's just a matter of continuing to play the good baseball they are right now. Delino to Shields, 1 out of 2 with a single and a run scored. Takes the pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Delino, after his first inning single, now hitting at .267. Hits it well to center field. Jones retreating, puts the brakes on, makes the catch, and that will do it. So Delino hit it right on the screws, but wrong guy. Adam Jones going to catch most stuff out there in center. 3 up, 3 down. We have finished 4 innings. The Rangers leading the Orioles 3-0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Tonight's Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. Kind of a thirsty afternoon. Gonna keep hydrated out here at Globe Life Park. Rangers leading 3-0 as Derek Holland goes back to work and throws strike one to Caleb Joseph. Joseph, Scoop, and Alvarez, the first three Orioles to come to the plate. And Derek, as he has been doing all afternoon, pumping in strike after strike.
And continuing to throw hard, too. That last fastball was 94 miles an hour. Pretty much everything he's thrown, nothing's been under 93, and most of the fastballs have been 94, 95. Well, he's feeling good today.
That pitch boring in on Caleb Joseph, and it plunked him on the left arm. You know, the first time that the Orioles have had their leadoff man aboard. One on, nobody out for Jonathan Scope.
Well, one of the few balls that's gotten away from him a little bit, trying to bust him in with a fastball like he's done so well to so many of the right-hand hitters today. That one just got a little too far in.
Scope had a foul pop-up. Mitch Moreland took care of it right in front of the Ranger dugout his first time, and he takes strike one from Holland. Scope now a .290 season average. Ranger infield a couple of steps to the left. And Scope rifles one foul. It's 0-2. Scope, just a 23-year-old. He is out of Curacao and of the Caribbean, and he is quite a young player. That's foul back. Orioles signed him as a non-drafted free agent back in 2008. Came up for his first taste of the big leagues in 2013, just 5 ball games. Well, last year, played 137 games, hit only .209, but had 16 home runs. Slowly hit to Elvis. The second, Alberto back to first, not in time.
I don't think they were going to have any chance to turn that. They almost turned it. That would be a pretty close play at first base.
Alberto was playing up the middle on Scope there, just in case he pulled the ball. He got it over to Elvis, though. Nice try on the double play. Like Tom said, I didn't think there was going to be a play over at first either, but they made it pretty close. Elvis doing a nice job charging the ball, getting the flip, even though he was inside the baseline a little bit there. Still got the flip.
And Jeff Bannister has come out and said, hey, why don't you guys take a look at that? Let the replay folks back in New York take a look at that play. And that is why right there.
Wow.
Might have some. Joey Probinski, the Ranger replay review artist upstairs, phoning down to Steve Buechele, who let Jeff Bannister know that that is worth taking a look at. So the headsets brought out for the umpiring crew. You have the crew chief of this group, Field and Culbreth, and Paul Schreiber, the first base umpire, will put the headsets on, and they will be in communication with Replay Command Center back in New York.
That's a close one.
That's really close. I think what kind of threw things off a little bit was typically your first baseman catches it and plants at the same time, but Mitch was in the air when he caught the ball and came down after Scope had gotten past the bag. So I guess that kind of, throws you off a little bit. Wow, that's pretty close.
Yeah, that is. Even on the slowed down replay, that's a bang bang play. Yeah, they will take a little while to kind of sort out this back in New York. Remember now, the call on the field is safe, and there has to be clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call on the field.
Looks like he got him by a sliver. but I don't know if it'll be overturned or not.
And now the change that we've had, there was for a while an interpretation where the ball had to impact the back of the glove. And now when you're looking at it, the ball has to be within the framework of the glove. It doesn't have to impact the glove, obviously, to make it an out call. So that little change might come into play right here on this, as close as that was.
I think it might.
Umpire still awaiting word from New York. They will sync up the different angles of the replay, sync it up time-wise so they can compare different angles of the same play and also slow it down, blow up a particular frame if they need to. All kinds of video magic they can use.
The fans can't tell because they haven't let out a roar to show their approval for the challenge, so we'll see.
It looks like from that angle the toe is still up in the air, and if the heel was not, the mid part of the foot was not on the bag, then he probably should be out. But from a different angle, it may show you that the foot was in contact with the bag. And there are some angles that we don't have access to that they do in New York. Buck Showalter on your right, Mitch Moreland on the left, and Jonathan Scope down there. He is hanging around first, claiming that's his bag.
He probably knows one way or the other.
Well, the call stands, meaning that there was not sufficient video evidence to overturn it, but there wasn't sufficient evidence to uphold the call either. So the ruling on the field is as called.
That's one of those buzz. It would have been the same result whether he called him out or safe.
Right.
Called him out, that would have stood too.
No, one out now. Scope at first base. Ariel Alvarez, who was called out on strikes his first time, takes a fastball that is in for strike one. Alvarez a single and a double in 3 trips yesterday. And Holland just missing a little bit low. 1-1. Derek still not at 60 pitches. He's working here in the 5th inning. Holland with 6 strikeouts. He has not walked a hitter and has been behind very few Oriole hitters. There's that good Derek Holland move that had Scope had another step or so off the bag, probably would have picked him. Chopper slowly hit foul, and we'll come back and try it with a ball and 2 strike count. Orioles just 2 hits this afternoon, and a first inning double by Adam Jones, a 4th inning single by Chris Davis. That has been it. They've had one other runner. Caleb Joseph was hit by a pitch to start off this inning. He was since forced at second base. Jonathan Scoop now the runner at first. Base hit to right field. Chu will play it on a hop, and stopping at second is Scope. Well, Alvarez shooting one the other way. 2 on with 1 out for Paul Yanish.
One of the few pitches Derek left out over the plate. He's trying to go down and in. Left that one over the plate. Alvarez took it to right.
Alvarez showing pretty good ability to move the ball around the diamond a little bit. Also a good defensive ability.
How about that throw? Inning or 2 ago from right field.
Yeah, to third base.
Yes.
One hop.
I saw the throw to second. today, the one that he threw someone out at the plate. But that one you're talking about,
Yes.
Mac, that when you see a guy make that throw, that's when you go, okay, he does have one. A lot of guys can throw if they're coming forward toward the base, but when you're pretty much standing there going back or toward the left and come up with that throw, you have got a hose.
Well, 2 outs after the Giannis fly ball, and back to the top of the order, Manny Machado. Machado has been called out on strikes and popped up today. 0 for 2. Batting average for Machado right at .290. Machado already a 2-time All-Star. That's out of play to the right. 0-1. Machado with 26 home runs this year. It's a career high for him, and it's also the most by an Oriole third baseman since Melvin Mora had 27 10 years ago. Scope at second. Alvarez trailing him at first. 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Rangers leading 3-0. Derek Holland trying to keep it right there. To second, the ball gets away from Hanser Alberto. Scope able to get back. A very quick move, well-timed pickoff attempt by Holland and Alberto. I think Derek threw him a sinker.
Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of that, especially with 2 outs. You got a strike on the batter. I think you go get him and not worry about those runners out there.
This one skied down the right field line. It will be in play for Shin-Soo Choo, and in fair territory. Choo makes the catch. That will do it. Yeah, Holland gives up a base hit and a hit batter. 2 stranded. We've played half the ball game. Remains the Rangers 3 and the Orioles 0. Show out here at Globe Life Park this year. And the next opportunity is coming up on Friday, September the 11th, following the Rangers game with the Oakland A's. Fans using the online coupon code FIREWORKS at TexasRangers.com/specials can get seats for $14. And seats are going fast, so make sure and get yours quickly. Shin-Soo Choo starting off the Ranger 5th inning. Texas on top of Baltimore at 3-0, and Choo checks his swing. 2 balls and no strikes. Choo has singled and scored and flied to center field. Miguel Gonzalez has given up 6 hits. All 3 Ranger runs are of the earned variety. Choo with his base hit, now hitting at .249 for the year.
2-2. For a guy that's trailing 3-0, Miguel Gonzalez has not pitched that badly. The Rangers have worked him pretty well, gotten 6 singles.
Well, they're all bunched together, Buzz. 3 in a row in the first and 3 in a row in the third with 2 outs.
Chu grounds out before Fielder comes up. Let's send it over to John Radigan for a Mazda game break. Thank you, John. Boy, that they are in free fall, aren't they? Oh, goodness.
Things sure did turn around there in a hurry.
Yep. Rangers, of course, will face the Angels next weekend. Be out in Anaheim Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Prince Fielder checking his swing. It's a strike. Fielder 1 for 2 today. First inning single, and also fouled out to left field last time up. Chopper and Chris Davis underhands to Gonzalez covering. 2 up, 2 away. Adrian Beltre is next.
Third baseman, Adrian Beltre.
Yeah, you go back to that last series the Rangers had with the Angels over the 4th of July here. And Angels just blasted the Rangers, swept them 3 straight, outscored them by 25 runs or something. It was not pretty. Now a month and a half later, a little bit different story.
Well, we're definitely a different ball club for sure. The bullpen out there, we got some additions that the Angels haven't seen just yet. So I think that's going to be a big advantage for us.
Adrian takes that pitch a little bit low. How big of a difference does it make, or how important is it for the ball club now going on the road into cooler weather this time of year? Is that a big advantage for the club?
I think it can be, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's going to conserve some energy, because just being out here in this heat today, I mean, you're going to expend some extra energy. So getting somewhere where there's cooler weather, I think everybody's fresher. You're not getting as worn out when you go out for batting practice every day. So yeah, I think it definitely can help.
Tom, you had to do that for a lot of years, going from here to West Coast or East Coast where it was a little bit cooler. Did it affect you that way?
Yeah, I think one thing was kind of universal. Every time we left to go on the road and you got to a town where there was nice weather, the first thing everybody said is, "Wow, this feels great." And I don't know if it translated into wins or not, but
yeah,
as far as what you felt like and the energy that you had, for sure. You think you've got an advantage at home, and our players live in this weather. They're used to this weather, but no matter how much you're used to it, you just can't deny that it takes something out of you. And you hope that a visiting team comes in and just overwhelmed by 100-degree heat. But the fact for them is that after 3 days, they're going back home. So they don't get the feeling this is never going to end, which basically once it gets to be 95 here, it stays that way for 3 months.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it. You can't use it as an excuse. You have to block it out of your mind. And the Rangers do so many things to combat it. Staying inside, they don't hit outside every day, they hydrate, they do all the things you have to do, but nevertheless, the weather and a season is going to take its toll on you by September. There's just nothing you can do about that. So you get to Anaheim and it's 68 degrees at night.
Sure,
that's a nice feeling, and it feels good to them too, so it doesn't necessarily give you an advantage, but
Beltre leans on that breaking ball, and it's 3-2. Well, I know as a pitcher, pitching in cool weather after you've come from hot weather, you feel like you're a completely new person.
Do you?
Yeah. It's just like somebody has remade your whole body. You feel better. You feel like you have more stamina. You don't, but you feel like that. And I guess if you can trick your mind, you're that much further ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Adrian, meanwhile, having a pretty good tussle. 8 pitches so far on this at bat. Beltre trying to extend this 5th inning against Miguel Gonzalez. Mitch Moreland, the first baseman, is in the on-deck circle. Beltre 1 for 1, a single and a sacrifice fly.
Gonzalez going to make his 86th pitch of this ball game. And Beltre pops it foul. That will reach the seats behind home plate. I think Adrian's expanding his strike zone a little bit. Beltre's sacrifice fly in the first inning drove home his 45th run of the year. 274 the average for Adrian. Another 3-2 pitch. Lost him. That was one heck of an at bat for Beltre.
Wow, 11 pitch at bat and get a walk. Fouled off 5 or 6 pitches. And you end up with a walk. Somebody was going to get tired there.
Yeah. Yeah. So 1 on, 2 outs. Rangers used this formula in the third inning when Beltre had a 2-out single. Mitch Moreland followed with a single, and then Elvis Andrus had an infield single to produce the last run. We'll see if they can't turn on a little 2-out magic again here in the 5th. Moreland 1 out of 2. 1 ball, no strikes. Mitch hitting at 288. He has been pretty much steady as a rock this whole month. At 294 in August. He's also driven in 16 runs this month. 2-0. DJ McFarland, the left-hander, getting loose in that Oriole bullpen. Moreland, the Ranger leader in slugging percentage at .486. He is second on the club, as we mentioned, with 67 RBI. And second in on-base plus slugging. Hit it well to center field. Going back is Jones. He has it in his sights and puts it away. Rangers get a 2-out walk, but strand Beltre. We finish 5. Rangers leading 3-0. Mac, thanks for joining us. We'll see you after the ball game on Rangers Live. On Wednesday, September 16th, Rangers take on the Houston Astros in a pivotal AL West showdown. It's also one of just 2 chances left this season to enjoy Dollar Hot Dog Night. Don't wait to get your tickets for this important matchup, and go to TexasRangers.com. You'll get a chance to get those dollar hot dogs and see the Rangers take on the Astros. Derek Holland going to work. Steve Pearce leading things off, drives one to center. And Delino DeShields, having played pretty well, just had to retreat a couple of steps. No, 1 pitch, 1 away here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Derek continues to have a great pitch count, only 63.
Next will be Adam Jones. Yeah, 63 strikes, 63 pitches, 44 strikes, 19 balls. That's filling the strike zone up pretty well. Adam Jones has one of just the 3 hits given up by Holland this afternoon. It was a first inning double. Derek to the wind and pours in strike 1. Adam Jones with 24 home runs this year. He is now 7th all-time on the Oriole franchise list of home runs. He has 190 in a Baltimore uniform. He also currently ranks 10th in RBI on the all-time Oriole list. There's some pretty impressive names: Frank Robinson, Eddie Murray, and Boog Powell. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Holland to the wind, back to the plate. Elvis deep in the hole, long throw, perfect. 2 gone. And before Chris Davis comes up, let's send it over to John Radigan for a Mazda game break. All right, John, thank you. Now, speaking of Sano, did you see the clip of the ball he hit in Tampa Bay?
No.
The one that went to the roof?
No. I saw the 2 he hit against us in Minnesota, though.
Yeah.
They might have gone to the roof if he hit him in Tampa Bay.
He hit one, apparently, that top catwalk up there, the top ring, hit it, and they were afraid it was going to be one of those that, they tell you every fly ball comes down if you give it enough time. That was one that may not have come down. Chris Davis rolls one just foul down the first base side. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, last night, Martin Perez working Davis inside with good effect and jammed him very royally. And today, Derek Holland staying in the same place. The left-handers getting in on Chris Davis. That was the little pop-up that he hit between the mound and second base. Left-handers especially can get in there, but don't make a mistake out over the plate. Chris today 1 out of 2, had a base hit back up the middle his last time. Two balls and 2 strikes. Holland okays the sign, and the left-hander comes back. Just missed inside.
Could try to do the same thing we just showed.
Yep.
The pitch that Martin threw. Pitch that Derek threw earlier. He tried to do it again, and you're going to see on the pitch tracks, just missed it. A little bit inside.
Now the payoff pitch. We'll try it again.
Derek's still tuning it up there when he needs to at 95 miles an hour. So on a hot day, good pitch count, only 73 pitches. But he's not showing any signs of being tired out there at all.
Davis settling back into the batter's box. Holland reading the signs. Another 3-2 pitch. Call strike 3. And Davis knew it. That pitch down and away after Holland had pounded him inside. And Derek, with his 7th strikeout of the afternoon, sends the Orioles down in order. We finished 5.5. It's the Rangers 3 and the Orioles nothing. And today, USAA honors all of our service members at home and abroad.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention.
brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot is worth $1,300 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Carla Gallegos from Quinlan will win $1,300. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Carla will take home $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Elvis Andrus starting things off against Miguel Gonzalez. Elvis 1 for 1 today, an RBI infield single in the third. He walked back in the first inning. That is fouled back, a ball and a strike. Well, the Rangers trying to get to a place they have not been since the third home game of the season, and that's back to 500 here at home. They are 31 and 32 at the moment. Elvis dropping down a bunt. It's a good one. Gonzalez to throw, not nearly in time, and he gets by Davis. But it's backed up by Scope, so Elvis hangs on with a base hit. 35th bunt base hit for the Rangers this year. That is the most in baseball.
Well, Elvis had a good day. He walked. He had an infield hit to drive in a run, and now he's got a bunt. Gets Machado back quite a ways there at third base. A nice play. Gonzalez had to rush his throw to have any chance. Couldn't make an accurate throw. He got there quickly, got rid of it quickly. There's no way he could throw it accurately. The Rangers trying to add some insurance runs, get the leadoff hitter on.
Yeah, see if they can use a little bit of that speed here. We haven't seen them utilize that much today, and with Elvis at first and nobody out, Will Venable at the plate, who has very good speed. Orioles into an overshift. As Gonzalez makes the throw to first. Shortstop Yanish over there on the second base side of the bag. Venable has struck out and fouled out. 0 for 2 today and hitting at 278. There goes Elvis, and the pitch is fouled away. So Jeff Bannister going to use a hit and run. And Elvis back to the bag. Rangers still fourth in the American League in steals as a team. They have 74. But that just hasn't been a big part of their arsenal of late. Delano DeShields has had a few stolen bases, but Elvis has not really utilized that as much. Rangers just 8 for their last 16 steal attempts. 0-2 as Venable takes that fastball away. Will, a .258 average with the Padres at the time of his trade. .252 hitter for his career, 8 years with the Padres. Hector Ortiz talking to Elvis down there at first base. Elvis stepping off a lead. A ball and 2 strikes, the count to Venable. And Miguel Gonzalez approaching the 100 pitch level. Last inning, we showed you T.J. McFarland loosening in the Oriole pen. He has sat down. Taking his place out there now is Jason Garcia. Venable back in, taps the plate with the business into that bat. Elvis, a modest lead at first. Gonzalez sets. And another chopper foul. Rangers 3 runs on 7 hits this afternoon. Baltimore has been limited to just 3 base hits by Derek Holland. 4 base runners if you include the hit batter. Eric shutting out the Birds through the first 6 innings. Got him swinging.
Boy, he just gave him a constant dose of 80-mile-an-hour pitches. Not going to give him a fastball.
Third strikeout for Gonzalez this afternoon. 1 away, and Chris Jimenez coming up. Jimenez, a couple of groundouts. 1 to second, 1 to short. Chris on this homestand now, 2 out of 9. Strike 1. Chris coming into play today had base hits in 4 of his last 6 games, hitting just a bit over 300 in that span. Elvis extending his lead just a bit. And the pitch down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Miguel Gonzalez this afternoon. A couple of innings, the first and the 5th, where it kind of got away from him a little bit. Third in there also at 22. And like every other inning, it's been a rather long pitch count inning for him. Talking about Chris Jimenez and Bobby Wilson, the job they have done combining to hit 293. And in this month, 26 ball games, they've driven in a total of 16 runs. There goes Elvis, and the pitch is fouled away. Again, the hit and run looked like it was on as Chris Jimenez going out way outside the strike zone to foul that pitch off.
Yeah, he had a pitch away with the second baseman covering. It was just too far away. There's that graphic we were talking about, Buzz. That's pretty good production from 2 guys that, if there were no injuries, wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
And with the injuries, the Rangers are very, very glad they are here. Bobby had the game-winning hit last night. Chris had the go-ahead home run a couple days ago.
Pitch inside, it hit him. Well, Miguel Gonzalez trying to jam Chris Jimenez and got it inside his jersey. No, Elvis down to second, Jimenez at first. Still just 1 out. Hanser Alberto coming up, and he will not face Miguel Gonzalez as Buck Showalter is out of the Oriole dugout. He is on his way to the mound, and he has made the call to the bullpen. So Miguel Gonzalez finished after 5 1/3 here this afternoon. He leaves trailing 3-0 with a couple of runners on his responsibility. Pitching change underway at Globe Life Park. We'll take a timeout. We're back right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Post-game concert that's sure to rock the ballpark. Plus, passes are available to watch the concert from the best seat in the house, right on the field. Get to TexasRangers.com/concerts to get your tickets to see the Rangers take on the Mariners and a field pass for the Pat Green post-game show. Now, Jason Garcia, the 22-year-old right-hander, on now to take over for Miguel Gonzalez. And Garcia inheriting runners at first and second, one out. Going to third is Elvis. The throw is not made, and Elvis in without a throw, the stolen base.
So many times you see a base runner like Elvis, an experienced base runner, take advantage of a new pitcher who comes into the game. He knows where the runners are, but all he's concentrating on is getting the hitter. Got a young pitcher out there, and Elvis took advantage of it.
Well, Elvis swiping third, and Matt Wieters did probably the right thing, just hang on to it. There's no way he was going to throw him out at third base. No. 14th stolen base of the year for Elvis. The runners at the corners, and the push bunt is fouled back and out of play.
You got to have a pretty good bunt there. You got the pitcher coming in, you got the first baseman holding the runner. If you can get it between them toward the second baseman, which is exactly what Hanser was trying to do, got an alert runner like Elvis at third, you can pick up an RBI that way. But you don't have a lot of margin for error. You bunt it back to the pitcher, back to the first baseman. Probably not going to get that run in.
0-1 to Hanser Alberto, who is 0 for 2. 1 ball and 1 strike, or 1 ball and 2 strikes, excuse me. Alberto is grounded to third and struck out this afternoon. Both those at bats, of course, against Miguel Gonzalez. The hard-throwing youngster, Jason Garcia, trying to keep the Rangers off the scoreboard. Inside, 2-2. Garcia, basically a sinker slider repertoire. And minimize things when he gets in as a reliever. He was a starter until a couple of years ago. The 2-2 pitch. Up the middle, over the bag, into center field, a base hit. Elvis trots home. Jimenez stops at second. Hanser Alberto with the RBI. And the Rangers increase their lead. It is 4-0.
They tried to bunt him in, and then he drove him in. First base hit for Hanser today. Rangers had an important insurance run.
Hanser Alberto with his 4th RBI of the year. There's that slider that didn't get down. It got away, but it didn't get down enough, and Alberto get enough bat on the ball to drive it right through the middle of the diamond. So now back to the top of the order for Delino to Shields. Delino swinging at a fastball, and he got the slider. The Shields 1 for 3 today. Had a single and scored a run back in the first. Average at 266. Got Chris Jimenez at second. Hanser Alberto at first. Jimenez hit by a pitch. Alberto there via the RBI single. Check swing roller foul. The count moves to 0-2. Alberto facing Jason Garcia. Mentioned a 22-year-old. He's originally from New York, born in the Bronx. Came over from Houston this last offseason. And that pitch called strike 3, right at the bottom of the strike zone. And Delino not real thrilled with that call, but walking back to the dugout. 2 gone. And with the left-handed hitting Chu and Fielder to be next. Buck Showalter out to the mound, talking to Garcia. Whole infield will come in and support Jason Garcia. That's going to do it for the right-hander. So Buck wants the left-hander to come in. Got runners at first and second. Rangers have increased their lead to 4-0. See if they can add some more. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back right after this timeout. In this sixth inning, looking for more, and they will have to do it against the left-hander T.J. McFarland, who enters the ball game for his 20th appearance of the year. And a 4.13 ERA. The league hitting a rather lofty 3.17 against him. McFarland, a 26-year-old left-hander from Illinois. He was a Rule 5 selection by the Orioles from Cleveland back in the offseason before the 2013 year. Shin-Soo Choo will step in. Got Chris Jimenez at second. Hanser Alberto is the runner at first. Choo 1 for 3 with a run scored today. Takes ball one. Choo with the average at 249 as he faces McFarland. Left-hander sets, and Choo a swinging strike. Throw to second, and they got it.
What a throw.
Throw right on the bag by Matt Waiters, and they picked off Chris Jimenez. And Jeff Bannister going out to second base to see if he can coerce the umpires into taking a look at this.
That's one where he might have wanted a challenge. Like he tagged him to the left of his hand.
Field and Colbreth, the umpire out there at second base. And again, without a challenge, you can't force the umpires to review it, but they can review it on their own. No, that conference is concluded. There will not be any kind of review, and that'll do it for the Rangers. They do add a run, though, on a couple of hits and leave one. We have finished 6 innings here at Globe Life Park. It's now the Rangers 4 and the Orioles nothing. summary. Rangers already leading when Elvis Andrus, on a great play by Jonathan Schoop, turned into an RBI single for Elvis. Derek Holland making the most out of the support he's been given. 7 strikeouts and no walks in his 6 innings of work. Allowed just 3 hits and a hit batter to the Orioles. Holland has been on his game today as he goes to work here in the 7th inning. Rangers 4 runs on 8 hits. The Orioles no runs on those 3 hits. Matt Wieters 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop out. He lines one to left, but Venable has this one played pretty well. Well, that ball doing all kinds of tricks out there to left, and Venable stayed with it.
Looked like it was hooking and sinking. Hard hit ball. Will had him played right, stayed with it. It's just a long out.
Like Will playing that little side saddle, just to make sure he got a better angle at it with his eyes. Now here's Caleb Joseph, the designated hitter. Joseph hit by a pitch his last time up. That was in the 5th inning. Fouls back that first pitch. 0-1. Joseph 247, but he has 11 home runs. Holland to the wind. Good fastball. Good movement on it. Inning by inning, Derek has been in complete command today. And the 1 9-pitch inning in the second, but he's just been very, very consistently in the strike zone all afternoon. Got him swinging. That is strikeout number 8.
Yeah, they're just not exactly sure what to look for. If they do look for his fastball, he's had such good velocity and location with it. They haven't been able to really handle that. He makes that great pitch with a slider down and in. Tough to lay off of. Throwing some good changeups. Basically just been in control of this ball game.
Well, 2 outs very quickly here in the 7th. Jonathan Schoop, the second baseman, now will step in. Swinging strike 1. Schoop has reached on a fielder's choice and fouled out. 0 for 2 this afternoon. Hitting at 289. And Holland again living in the strike zone. He is ahead 0-2.
Oh, when you're winning and you're playing fairly close ball games, the late inning guys in the bullpen get used quite a bit. And so the ideal scenario is to keep on winning. If you're playing close games, great. But have your starter go 8 or 9 innings. Cole Hamels did it a couple of days ago. Hopefully Derek will be able to do it today and just give those guys a rest.
Holland's next pitch is down at the shoe tops. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And let's go down to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, guys, just like you were talking about the reliever situation, the bullpen, Sean Tollison's been used 7 out of 9 days. And so yesterday after the game, Jeff Bannister said that is something they would have to consider if they were in a save situation today, whether or not to use him. So we'll see coming up.
All right, Emily. 2 strikeouts in inning 9 for the day, and everybody in the lineup has struck out at least once against Derek Holland. 4-0 Rangers, and now let's join Chuck Morgan as he introduces God Bless America.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the world. Performing God Bless America today is Brent Kern.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God sweet home.
Selection for this afternoon. This comes to us from Joshua. Joshua, we really appreciate it. The folks at T-Mobile make this all possible for you. If you'd like to send in your photo, just use hashtag Southwest Data StrongFan, and your photo might be selected to be aired during an upcoming telecast, just like Joshua's was today. Again, thanks to T-Mobile for making this possible. Shin-Soo Choo starting off the bottom of the seventh inning. T.J. McFarland deals a strike. Choo was left standing at home plate when Chris Jimenez was picked off second base by Matt Wieters. That ended the Ranger sixth. 4-0 Texas. The backhand goes scope. He throws out. Choo one away. Shin-Soo 1 for 4 now as he makes the right turn at first base. Heads back to the Ranger dugout. It'll bring up Prince Fielder. Fielder has singled, fouled out, and grounded out to first. Prince with the average right where he began play today at 315. Ball one. Fielder now tied for second with 47 multi-hit games. That was a statistic that he led by a pretty handsome margin until the last few weeks. In the American League, Ian Kinsler with 50 multi-hit games. Yoenis Cespedes over with the Mets has 47. And Prince right there with 47 also. The 2-0 pitch coming. 2-1. Fielder still the third highest average during the day in the American League at 359. Two balls and 2 strikes. Adrian trying to throw that foul ball over the net and couldn't make it.
Few chances, finally did it overhand and got it over there. Didn't get it to the guy he wanted to get it to.
The 2-2 to Fielder. Well, the Rangers, we mentioned, trying to get back to 500 here at home this year. They're 31-32 at the moment. They're also trying to get 7 games over 500 overall. That's the that would be the best they have been this year. This is the third time they have been in 6 games over 500. And Fielder has his second base hit of the day. So he is now with 48 multi-hit games. Here's Prince Fielder's base hit. 1 on, 1 out for Beltre.
A well hit line drive by Prince. The fastball looked like it's on the inside half of the plate and does a good job to get the good part of the bat on it. Hit that ball sharply into center field.
A Fielder at first, now Beltre, who is 1 for 1 officially today. Adrian has had a sacrifice fly and a walk. The only official time he came to the plate, he had a base hit and scored in the 3rd inning. Farland pours in strike 1. And the Rangers, along with trying to get 7 games over 500 for the first time this year, also trying to sweep a series for the 6th time in 2015. McFarland reading the signs. Beltre waiting patiently. 2 balls and a strike. Adrian currently hitting at 274. He's got Fielder over at first. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Rangers leading 4-0. And 3-1. Now Beltre trying to get aboard to join Fielder. Mitch Moreland, the Ranger first baseman, is next. Drive to right field. That sends Alvarez right back in the middle of the warning track to haul it in. Fielder back to first. Beltre going the other way with authority.
He sure did. All he had to do is get that up in the air a little bit. Goes a couple of rows back.
No, 2 gone before Mitch Moreland steps in. Let's send it over to John Radigan for a Mazda game break. All right, John, thank you.
Boy, it was 7-0 late in the game. The Astros put a little final rush on them.
Testing the tail end of that Twins bullpen, apparently. Mitch takes low and inside for ball 1. Yeah, so the Rangers, right now, as we stand at this very moment, the Rangers 3.5 back of the Astros, and probably just as important, if not more important, they're only 2 back in that loss column. Angels now dropping 6.5 back of Houston. Moreland chops it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. If the Rangers can win today, they'd have gone a full week without losing ground to the Astros. Last 5 days, they've lost a half game in the standings, but with a win here today, they'd pick up that half game. Up the middle. Nice stop by Machado. A backhand flip and out at second base. Machado sprawled on the ground, able to flip it backhand to Yanish for the force of Prince Fielder. For the Rangers, no runs, a hit, and 1 man is left. A nice play by Machado to get the Rangers out. We'll go to the 8th inning. It's the Rangers 4, the Orioles 0. dealing with Derek Holland. And today against the Orioles, no walks, 9 strikeouts for the left-hander. Most strikeouts in a game since way back in September of 2013 this season. Just 1 walk and 18 strikeouts in his now 3 starts. And this is as sharp as we have seen Derek Holland since, well, probably last September. He had a 2-0 September last year and threw the ball well at times, but none any better than this.
No. And, you know, the first 2 starts that he's had since he came back this year were solid. But this is even better.
Delino DeShields drifting back into his right, hauls in that fly ball from Dario Alvarez for out number 1. And let's go to Jim Knox.
I appreciate it, Buzz. Time for the Progressive Fan of the Game. First, we want to recognize the Floyd family, season ticket holders from right outside of Austin. Ethan, you're the biggest fan, yelling what?
Sweep.
There we go. Okay, Ethan, you forgot that, huh? But I wanted to introduce you first to the Elish family, 8 strong. Here's the mom. 8 strong. Are you tired yet?
No, like I said earlier, I'm blessed.
Okay, and you got a special talent that is what?
Well, besides being a mom and loving to be a grandma, also I'm a ventriloquist. Hello there.
Let's hear it.
This is Little Tex. Hello there. Oh, Rangers! God bless America, land that I love. Stand
wow.
Yes, good job.
I don't think we've ever had that before, guys, in the stands. Well,
That's
congratulations, Progressive Fan of the Game. Way to go, Mom. 8 strong, Buzz and Tom.
Wow.
There's a happy mom and a great ventriloquist.
Yeah.
That was great.
That would be a first. We have not had, have we?
No, I don't think so. Seen a few of them on America's Got Talent, but I haven't seen one out here at the ballpark yet.
Paul Yanish up there, a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Holland. Back to Jim Knox.
And Ethan, you had something to say. What was it, Ethan?
Sweep.
There we go, Ethan. Way to go, buddy.
Everybody deserves a second chance.
Absolutely. Whoa, how'd he get out of the way of that one?
I don't know. Yanish taking it inside, spinning around. So 3-2 now with 1 out. Yanish will be followed by the top of the order, Manny Machado. Holland reading the signs. Now the left-hander goes to the line and stops midway through. Everybody resets. We will try it again. Jimenez flashing the signs. Holland with the payoff pitch. Ground ball to Beltre. Nice pickup on the short hop. 2 gone. Well, for Holland, that is now 10 straight set down since the single by Alvarez back in the 5th inning. And he will face Manny Machado for the 4th time this afternoon. Machado has popped out, flied out, and struck out.
Well, Derek's 2 starts prior to this, he threw 93 pitches against Seattle, 94 pitches against Toronto. And it's just about where he is right now.
That was his 93rd of the afternoon.
Boy, one time in this game, if I remember right, he had thrown somewhere around 30 pitches and it was 18 strikes, 13 balls, something like that. Since that time, man, he has been throwing some strikes. In the game, 65 out of 94 strikes.
And dropping that breaking ball in. 1-2 to Machado. Well, the crowd starting to get in on every pitch now that Holland throws. And Derek just missing down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holland's last complete game was September the 23rd of 2013. Foul back. That was a shutout of the Houston Astros. Again, the 2-2. Well, he has worked both sides of the plate to Machado and off both sides of the plate. Machado's up there wailing away at it. He has him in swing mode, which is exactly where you want a good hitter. See that last pitch, about 6 inches inside. That one just missed. That was a comeback fastball. Over the second straight hitter now, Holland has gone to a full count. His next pitch will be 100 this afternoon. Payoff pitch. Well back into the seats down the left field side. Out of play. Machado back in. Ranger infield a couple of steps around to the left. Another 3-2 pitch up the middle, but that's right where Hanser Alberto was stationed. A 1-2-3 inning, 11 straight sent down by Derek Holland. He has gotten through 8, and the Rangers have backed in with a 4-0 lead.
A 6-game homestand for Texas. It is now out on the road for a 3-city, 10-game trip, which will take them first to the West Coast to take on the Padres. Matt Kemp and Adrian Beltre will be on display for the next 3 days. There you see the numbers as we head into this one tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So it's a West Coast time, late start here in Texas, right here on Fox Sports Southwest. Thanks to AT&T Uverse for getting us ready for the road trip, guys.
All right, Em, thank you very much. Now Elvis Andrus leading off the Ranger 8th inning, and he'll face the closer of the Baltimore Orioles, Zach Britton. Because of the Orioles' plight of late, Britton has not had a whole lot of work. Britton, of course, the Weatherford product, grew up in Weatherford, just west of Fort Worth. 51st game of the year for Britton. League hitting just .224 against him, 59 strikeouts in 52 innings.
One thing you want when you play a 3-game series against the Orioles, you don't want to face Zach Britton, because generally that means they've got the lead. Still wouldn't want to face him, but it's a little bit easier in this kind of a game.
Yeah, if you can avoid facing Darren O'Day and Zach Britton,
Yeah.
you're probably way ahead of the game.
Way ahead of the game. This guy's got about as hard a sinker as you could ever see.
2-1 the count to Elvis. Yanish throws out his counterpart, 1 away. Next to be Will Venable. Zach Britton has taken to the closer's role very, very well. He was a starter until last year. Orioles put him in as the closer. All he did was save 37 ball games for Baltimore. He had a 1.65 ERA in his 71 ball games. One ball, no strikes. Venable 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts this afternoon. Also a foul pop out. Britton, the fourth pitcher used by Buck Showalter this afternoon. Miguel Gonzalez started with the first 5 and a third innings. Gave up all 4 runs on 7 hits. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Jason Garcia worked a third of an inning. Then T.J. McFarland worked an inning and a third. And now Zach Britton. The 2-0 pitch coming to Venable. 3-0. Will trying to get aboard with 1 out here in the 8th inning. He will be followed by Chris Jimenez. Three and 1. Venable trying to get aboard. He has done that in all 7 games up until today with the Rangers. He's had 5 hits and 5 walks in 21 plate appearances. Chops this one out towards second. Going to be a tough play, and Britton can't cover and beat Venable. And Will has an infield single. Oh, there you go. 8 consecutive games with a Ranger that he has reached base.
I'm not sure what they could have done to prevent that from happening. It's one of those choppers that had the good location to it.
Yeah, if you're the pitcher, Zach Britton, you've got to continue to the bag and just hope.
That was their only chance.
Yeah.
Maybe Chris Davis can flip it out of his glove to you. That was about the only chance.
Venable was going to beat him there no matter what, I think. So the Rangers now with 10 base hits this afternoon. Back in double figures again. They have been pounding the baseball since the All-Star break. Here's Chris Jimenez taking low for ball 1. Jimenez hit by a pitch his last time up. Prior to that, grounded out a couple of times. Once to second, once to short. Matt Wieters out momentarily to talk with Zach Britton. Now everybody's set. Britton peering in for the sign. All the way to the backstop, off the glove of Wieters. Down to second goes Venable. I'm pretty sure that wasn't what the conversation was about. I don't think Wieters asked him to throw one that far inside to Jimenez. Could be wrong, but
when you're throwing 95-mile-an-hour hard sinkers, if it's not in the general vicinity of where you're expecting it, not that easy to move around and catch it.
Yeah. Another wild pitch, getting Venable into scoring position. Two balls and no strikes. Now 3-0. Well, Jimenez way out in front of the count. He is trying to get aboard in front of Hanser Alberto. Ball 4. Well, Jimenez draws the walk. 2 on with 1 out. And Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, going to go out there and see if he can't get Zach Britton back in the strike zone. Now, we talk a lot about closers coming in non-save situations, guys that have been closing for a while. And more often than not, I think you see a guy that is a closer have problems in non-save situations if he's going to have a problem. And it looks like Zach Britton might have fallen into that trap here today. Non-save situation hasn't worked in a while. Maybe a little bit of rust has formed and having trouble commanding the strike zone. A 2 on, 1 out. Alberto had an RBI single his last time up. Hands are now with 4 RBI. Batting at .229 is Venable at second, Jimenez at first. Zach Britton, a 2006 draftee by the Orioles. He was taken in the 3rd round. Weatherford High School product. 1-2. Made his major league debut back in 2011, and as we mentioned at that time, he was a starter. He went 11-11 as a rookie. The .461 ERA, 28 starts. One-two pitch to Alberto. Got him swinging. No, Britton comes back to get the strikeout, 2 away, and Delino to Shields now will come up.
Center fielder Delino to Shields.
Orioles have had a little bit of success doing the transition from the starting role to the bullpen, and Brian Mattis, another left-hander in the bullpen, was originally a starter. He's come on to be a pretty good reliever. He and Zach Britton about the same time in the Baltimore system.
Yeah, Mattis was 4th or 5th pick in the draft that year. And I guess you can, I guess you can get your money's worth if you move a starter into the closer's role. And Mattis has done a good job as a reliever. But when you pick a guy 4th or 5th in the draft, I think you're looking for him to win 14 or 15 games for you as a starting pitcher, probably.
Brian Mattis out there in the bullpen. Yeah, you wouldn't expect a 4th or 5th pick to be a long man or a middle man in the bullpen.
Kansas City had a couple of guys like that. Luke Hochevar and Aaron Crow were both really high draft choices, high expectations. Not that they've been bad, they've been solid relievers. Crow's not there anymore, but not what they expected when they drafted him, probably.
Base hit to left field. Venable being waved around third. The ball gets by Pierce. Venable scores. Right behind him, coming in to score is Jimenez. And Delino to Shields with the RBI. Rangers lead it 6-0.
Oh, that's the second time in this homestand we've seen that. Saw it in right field. Jose Bautista in the Blue Jays series. And now it's seen it in this game. Happened to Pierce in left field.
That's going to be a single, 1 RBI for Delino. And the other run, Chris Jimenez, scoring on this error. Delino, a well-hit shot to left field for the RBI. Delino, another multi-hit game. That's his 4th consecutive multiple-hit game. Shin-Soo Choo fouling off that pitch from Britton. 0-1. The Rangers now with a 6-0 lead. 6 runs on 11 hits for the Rangers.
This is one of those games where the Rangers haven't killed the ball, but they've just kept scoring. 2 in the first, they scored in the 3rd, the 6th, and now the 8th. They just kept adding on, scoring the runs, getting their hits. Kind of a steady offensive production today.
0-2 to Choo. And Derek Holland, the beneficiary of that 6-run outburst. First time in 7 games the Rangers have scored more than 4 or 5. They've been in that. That's not a bad rut to be in, considering they've been holding the opposition down. But nice to see him break out for a 6th spot here. Called strike 3. Choo caught looking, and that'll do it. But the Rangers add on 2 more runs on 2 hits A walk and an error. They leave one. We're going to the ninth inning. Derek Holland and the Rangers leading the Orioles 6-0.
For your Texas Rangers, Derek has shut out the Orioles so far on just 3 hits. 6-0 Rangers in favor of the Orioles, and obviously we will have a complete post-game wrap-up when we join you right after the game. John Radigan here in the Captain Morgan Club. Mark McLemore is with me. Emily Jones will be on the field. So will Jim Knox. We'll hear from some of the fans, lots of the players, and the manager, Jeff Bannister. It's a complete post-game wrap-up immediately following the game. We'll hear from him, too, guys. Back over to you.
All right, John, thank you. Yeah, Derek Holland indeed going to work here in the top of the ninth inning. And he will face Steve Pearce, Adam Jones, and Chris Davis, the first 3 Orioles. Pearce 0 for 3 this afternoon. Takes the changeup that floats outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Pearce a fly ball to center his last time up. He's also grounded a short and struck out. Holland with 9 strikeouts today. He has not walked an Oriole hitter. Up the middle, right there, though, is Andrew Alberto behind the bag at second for out number 1.
How many times have we seen that guy positioned there?
Well, here's the sum total of the Oriole output in the first inning. Adam Jones had that double into the left field corner with 2 outs. He was stranded there. Then in the 4th inning, a base hit to center by Chris Davis. And the next inning, in the 5th, Dariel Alvarez with a base hit, and that is it. They had 1 other base runner on a hit by pitch in the 5th. Other than that, they have not done anything with Derek Holland, and Adam Jones wailing at that high changeup. No success. It is 0-1. Holland about ready to deliver his 106th pitch of the afternoon. Ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And we mentioned Holland's last complete game was September 23rd of 2013. That was against the Houston Astros right here at home. His last shutout was that same ball game against the Astros. And the crowd of 22,256 starting to make some noise in support of Derek Holland. 1-2. Holland with 7 career shutouts. 10 strikeouts now. 2 gone.
Boy, he's just had great stuff today. Fastball is set up, the off-speed pitches, and he's pretty much throwing whatever he wants, where he wants to throw it. Looked like a changeup, maybe a slider, not sure exactly, but off-speed pitch had Jones way out in front of it.
You know, he matches Cole Hamels, does Derek Holland. Hamels had 10 strikeouts in 8 innings here on Friday night. Holland now just 1 out away from his 8th career shutout. Chris Davis, the hitter, is 1 for 3 this afternoon. And he takes strike 1. And this crowd at Globe Life Park on their feet. They are applauding every strike thrown by Derek Holland. Fouled out of play, nothing in 2. They are hooting and hollering here at Globe Life Park. Holland taking time to kind of soak that in a little bit. Left-hander to the Y, the 0-2 pitch. Just missed low. 1-2. Holland to the plate. Little check swing roller foul. We'll try it again. Now Derek climbing back up on top the hill, collecting himself a new baseball with which to work. The crowd again building in anticipation. Holland to the wide, the 1-2 to Davis.
Oh, what a catch. I didn't think he was even going to try to catch it. Right at the end, he jabbed at it with his left hand and caught it.
That's pretty nonchalant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man,
watch this grab.
Boink. Holland again to the plate. Inside, 2-2.
Good try, good call by the umpire. Wasn't quite there.
22,256 umpires disagreed with that.
Yeah, they did. That's okay.
The 2-2. 3-2. Well, Chris Davis has run the string out as far as he can. If Davis gets aboard to prolong this 9th inning, Matt Wieters is in the on-deck circle. Holland back on top the hill. Has the sign. Payoff pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. That was bat.
I didn't know what happened either.
Nobody made a call. Holland with a strikeout. And that is a winner for Derek Holland and the Rangers. Kind of an odd ending. Everybody's watching the bat fly out of the way, and nobody made a call on Chris Davis, who struck out. So Holland with 11 strikeouts, a 3-hit complete game shutout of the Baltimore Orioles. The Rangers cap off a sweep of Baltimore, their 6th sweep of the year. And the Rangers are now at 500, 32-32 here at home. And they, for the first time this year, have gone 7 games over 500 as they move to within 3 games of the front-running Houston Astros in the American League West. What an afternoon, though, for Derek Holland. It is Holland's day to enjoy. That last strikeout of Chris Davis that capped off an afternoon for Derek Holland, who gets his 2nd win of the year.
Well, one thing you really like, Buzz, to be a contender, you have to have good starting pitching. And watch what Cole Hamels did. Watch what Derek Holland did. Giovanni Gallardo's been pitching great. Martin Perez pitched solidly yesterday. And that leaves Colby Lewis, who's only won 14 games this year. Yeah. So you look at the rotation right now, and it's never looked better.
Well, you're right about that. And it's been a great afternoon for Derek Holland. I'm not sure I've seen him pitch better in the last 3 years. He was outstanding. And let's head down to the field. Emily Jones is standing by with the aforementioned Derek Holland.
Thank you very much, Derek. Complete game shutout for you. Safe to say this is the best you've felt in a long time?
It felt good. The main thing was just trying to get focused and stay on the attack. You know, I wanted to go after these guys right away. I see you keep shuffling away, so I know that cooler's coming around. Right now, I see him right here. So this will be good.
Should we wait for this to come? You just wait? Okay. Derek, thank you. True gentleman. True gentleman. There we go. Don't even think about it. thank you for that. You made that way easy on me. Thank you for that. It seemed early that you really set the tone, working at a good pace, throwing strikes. Where was that all coming from?
Well, I mean, I watched Cole and Martin go right before me. That was the big key that helped out with everything. And obviously, I watched myself just to see what I did to him in the past. I didn't want to get too happy on one side, which I've done in my last start. So I wanted to make sure I continue to attack and let these guys make the plays, which they did. I mean, it was a team game today.
Derek, you guys, as a team, like you said, just clicking at the right time, it seems. What's it like to be in the midst of this momentum?
I mean, it's awesome. This is what we play for. You know, we're trying to go get the West. You know, we're not really watching the scoreboard too much. We got to focus on ourselves and take it one game at a time and keep going from there, so that way we can get what we belong or what we think is ours.
Derek, you're 1-0 now with Wild Thing as your warm-up music. Is this going to stick around?
I mean, it's whatever. Yeah, it'll be here, that's for sure. Bye, Mom.
Thank you very much, Derek. We'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, Em, thanks very much. Derek Holland, a very happy Derek Holland, gets the shutout today. The Rangers complete the sweep over the Orioles. We'll come back with more from Globe Life Park right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.